So you have been on your healing journey and now you want to give back, which is a very noble thing to do. And here are some things I wish everybody starting one of these groups would know. The very first step should be that you see a psychologist, and you should have been seeing a psychologist for a very, very long time already. And this is because you need to lead by example. What good are you telling people to go see a psychologist if you have never seen one yourself? A lot of people that try and start all these groups aren't healed, and this causes a lot of problems that we will go into a little bit later. And if you haven't been seeing somebody for a very, very long time and you're already trying to start a group like this, it's probably that you're trying to use this as an avoidance tactic. So you're trying to focus on other people so that you don't have to focus on yourself. Now, this can cause a few problems. One being transference. So you haven't healed, which means you're going to pass all your bad juju onto everybody else in the group. Now, I know what you're saying. No, that won't happen. I'm stronger than that. That definitely won't happen. Okay, maybe that won't happen. But what will happen is that you will focus on all these other people so much, you will actually take on all their problems and you will burn out yourself. So you need to ask yourself, are you healed enough? Are you using this group for your own therapy? Are you using this group for your own meaning and purpose? Or are you actually ready to help somebody? Another thing that will happen if you are not healed enough, misery loves company. And your support group will end up being full of people that aren't ready to heal. They will keep re-traumatizing each other, and they will just breed toxicity, and your group will just fester and fester and fester, and nobody will heal. In fact, everybody will end up getting worse, but under the guise of getting better. If you have gotten this far, it may mean that maybe you are ready to start a mental health group. And hopefully by this time, you have been studying a qualification in mental health, disability, something in that field, alcohol and other drugs, counseling. And hopefully you have been volunteering at some other organizations. Why is this important? I'm glad you asked. This not only gives you credibility, it also means that when somebody in your group is doing it tough, they may have some very, very dark feelings, you know what to do about it. You know where to send them for help. You've been in the industry for a little while now, so you have a team or a list of people that you can refer them to for further help. You know how to store documents correctly. And you know that when somebody's on a downward spiral, how to teach them how to reframe, how to teach emotional regulation. Because if you aren't healed yourself, you can't teach people how to emotionally regulate. Just like you weren't taught how to emotionally regulate when you were a child. Because we learn emotional regulation by mirroring somebody. That's one of the important things about seeing a psychologist and a counselor. They will teach you how to do that. And if you haven't been through that, you're going to be standing in front of a group, not regulated, not being able to teach them how to regulate. Now, depending on what sort of group you have started, this, I believe, is important. I believe in keeping it male only and female only, mainly because most people, the majority of people, especially when you're talking complex trauma and codependency, if you get male and females in the same room that all have codependency issues, what do you think is going to happen? They're all going to start dating each other. They're all going to start sleeping together. And it is going to be an absolute shit show. Another thing, men will not be honest if there is a woman in the room. They will not bear all their intimate feelings and emotions if there is a woman in the room. They will if there's a man. But if there is a woman in the room, they will hold something back, no matter how small, they will hold it back. I will touch on one more topic. Back to the qualifications. I am not talking about a bullshit 1 or 2 day course in acceptance therapy. I'm not talking about, God help me, a fucking master's practitioner's, oh my God, fucking NLP qualification. No, unless it can be registered by a governing body, it is absolute shit. And I know what all you NLP practitioners are saying. Mine is registered. Who's it registered to? Is it registered to the company that you did the course with that made up their own registering body that's not associated with any government body? That's what I thought, because it is. So it's a bullshit qualification, by the way. It's been proven to not be effective, and yeah, and it's just a terrible, terrible qualification. Don't go and do a 3-hour life coaching qualification. Go do a legit qualification. That's another way how you can tell if people have healed or not. If they've taken shortcuts, if they've just gone and done bullshit courses that aren't registerable to a governing body, there's a good chance they aren't healed because they're not grounded enough to sit down and put in the work. They're still after shortcuts, which is what got them into this mental health problem space in the first place. So if you've made it this far and you still think you're ready to do a course, congratulations, because it can be one of the most rewarding and inspiring things that you will ever do. And to see people get results from something that you're doing is just phenomenal. But you need to be able to protect yourself and you need to be able to protect your participants from you. So if you can't do those things, maybe it's time to just hold off and put in a little bit more work. And P.S., if it's got spiritual or holistic beside it, there's a good chance, a 99.9% chance, it is not going to be a government registered course. Run from that shit.